Hello everyone. So in this video we will see what is useState hook in React and how to use it properly, and also at the end we will code our own half-cooked version of useState hook and try to understand how it works internally. So first thing, uh, I had created this React app here using npx create React app, and this is just a default React app which got created. So here I will just remove everything, and I will just write hello world. Okay, now it's coming, and after that let's do some cleanup. So I remove unnecessary imports. I will delete all these files which we don't want to use. Okay. So now we have index.js and app.js. In index.js, we are importing this one, and these things which we are not using. Also, this is strict mode. We can remove. It will just cause problem for us to understand. So now we have index.js, which is entry point, and it's calling our app component. And in app component, we have just one app function and which is returning hello world. So let's see if it's working. Yeah, it's working. Okay. So now before checking what's use state hook, let's see why we do not need something like use state hook. Okay. So let's get started. So first of all, let's create one component and name it as component without use state. .jsx, and here I will type RAFCE. I am using React Redux plugin and it's automatically doing this. Now I will import this component in place of hello world. So component component without use state, it got imported. Now if we see here, yeah, it's coming. Now in this component, uh, we will see why we need use state. So in this component, we will create one local state and try to see what happens. But if we, why we can't just use normal let or where variable. So here I will do where, or I will do let val equals to 3. Now in return section, I will put this div as it is, and I will put value of that variable, and then I will put one button, and let's name it click me. And in click me, I want on click of this button I want to run one function, and in this function I want to increase the value of val. So I will do val plus plus, or val equals to val plus 1. Now after this I will log value of this variable and then just save it. So this is our simple component. Now if I go to browser and open console, we'll refresh this once again. And now if I click on this button, then in console we can see that value of our variable is getting incremented, but here it's not uh, reflecting. So new value is not reflecting here because React just does not care about our normal variables, and it will not detect that this variable is changed, and since it's not detecting, that's why it will not re-render the page, and we can't see updated value here until somehow this page is re-rendered. So first reason is that normal variables does not re-render the page, and second reason is that even if somehow, suppose somehow we can render the page, then this variable data will be lost, because when we re-render page, then again it will initialize to 3, so its value will always remain 3, equals to its initial value. So we can't solve this problem by rendering also, and at the first point it will not trigger render. So let's not go there. And okay, so this is why we need use state hook, and use state hook help us to create state variables, which we will see now. So now I will create one more component with use state. I will call it as component with use state dot jsx, and here also I will do same thing. Now uh, first to use this hook, we have to import this from React, and once imported, then we can declare our state variable something like this. We need to do const and then name of variable, so I will call val, and then we type some name which will be function, so I will call set val. It's not necessary to write as val set val or my variable set my variable. We can write x and y also, that will work, but this is just like if you are writing big code, and it's good to follow some convention. So I will write use state, and then in use state I will pass initial value, what initial value I want to be assigned to this variable val. So I want to assign it 3. Okay. Uh, but before that, let's do one thing. I will comment it out, and I will just do this. I will console log use state 3. So this will help us to understand what use state returns. So we will see that use state returns array of two elements. First element is variable, and second element is a function which will be used to update this variable. So let's go to app, and instead of component without use state, let's import component with use state. Component with use state. Now if I go to browser, inspector is already open, I will refresh the page. Now you can see that line number 4, I think, in component.js. Yeah, this is line number 4. So line number 4 is returning, printing this array, and this array have length 2, and the first element is our variable, and initial value is 3, that's why we are getting 3 at 0th position of array, and second element in array is this function, and this function is actually which we will use to update our variable at any point of time. So I will go back here, and now we know that use state returns two things. First thing, it returns one variable, and second thing, it returns one function which can be used to update that variable. Now in return section, I will cut it out, paste it here, and similar to last time, this time also I will do while. And with well, I will after well I will just create another div so that button comes in next line. And in div, I will put one button, and this button again it's click me, and on click of this button, click. So on click of this button, I can put function here, but this time let's write our function outside. So I will just call it click handler, and here I will create one function named click handler. Const click handler equals to, it will not take any argument. And yeah. Now what this function will do is that one more thing I want to tell is that we can't do something like val plus plus. Like if I want, I can't do this on click of a button. If I do this val plus plus, then if I go to browser and when I click, I will get this error, invalid assignment to const val. So this can't be done. To update value, we have to call that function, set val function. And in this set val function, here also, if I want val plus plus, no, I can't do, because what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to increase the value of val, then pass to this function, which we can't do. So here what I can do, instead of val plus one, val plus plus, I can do val plus one. Now if I go to browser, refresh it, and yeah, it's working. So this is how we use state hook. Now this is normal, like this is simplest form of this set 12 function, but what happens here is that if I do something like this, if I do this, so what I'm trying to do is that on click of this button, increment value of val 3 times. Now if I go here, refresh the page, here it's happening only one time. And one more thing, if I log here like last time and refresh the page, and then refresh the page, then if I click here, then we can see here we expected it to increase 3 times, but increases 1 time. And here it printed old value, which is 3. We expected to put at least 4 here, no, if not 3, no, not 7, I mean not 6, then at least it should print 4 here, but it's printing 3. So the reason behind this is that if we go to official documentation of React, so here, so what React does is any update operations which we put in handler are based together, and those values are returned only on next render. So if I see here, you can just go through this documentation. Uh, So React re-render this lets you update multiple state variables even from multiple components without triggering too many re-renders. But this also means that UI won't be updated until after your event handler and any code in it completes. This behavior, also known as batching, makes your React app faster. So these three operations are batched together, and on next re-render, a value is updated. To fix this, we can use functional form of this set well function. So in functional form, what we can do, if we want to if we want to update 3 times, First thing is what we can do, easiest solution. If we want to do like this, then we can create some temporary variable, temporary variable, and then we can do 3 times val plus 1, and then tmp equals to tmp plus 2, something like we can do. And then instead of doing this 3 times, we can just directly set tmp here. First way is to do like this. Here also it will work. It's working. Now second way is to use functional form of set setter, this setter function. So in this functional form, we can do like this. And here, in fact, this is not required. So here, if I do well, or I do previous well, previous. So if I do previous plus 1, so whatever this previous is, it's the current value of val. So if I do set val previous and then previous plus 1, so this previous will be actually 3. And next time if I do same thing, then here previous will be 4 and this will be 4 plus 1. Same here, previous will be 5 and this previous plus 1 will become 5 plus 1. Now if I do, then this operation will also work. I refresh, then yeah, it's working 369. But you might notice that here it's working, but in console log here still it's not working. So the reason behind is that all these update operations are based and best to be done on next render. So on next render, when code will come here, then this val will be updated here. But when this handler is running, this lines run, this line runs, and then this line runs. All these three operations are washed. Now when it code comes to this line, then still it finds that value of val is 3. So that's why it's showing us 3 there. And now when this handler is over, then page will re-render, and then it come here and then sees that now val is updated to 3 plus 3 equals to 6. And then val will become 6. So but now you might think, then how we can print updated value of val. So that's why we have side effects, like we have used state hook, use effect hook. So we can do like in this video we will not talk about use effect much, but for just showing this one. So what we can do here, we can see it well, and paste it here. So now what this use effect hook will do is that once this value of val is updated, then it will run this line of code. So when we click this button, then this on click handler function is executed. This click handler function is executed. This line are best to be done. Now page will just re-render, and when it then it comes here, and then value of val gets updated. Now when value of val gets updated, this use effect will detect it that something has changed, and then log this line. So if we do first time also it's logging, but next time 3 6, it's printing latest values. Whatever we have in UI, that is reflecting in console. So that's how we can do, but we will see use effect in some other video. For now, we will see only use state. Yeah. Now, let's see how to, this is our normal variable. Now let's see how to deal with objects and arrays in with use state hook. So here I had just passed one number. If we want, we can also pass something like some object like name. Let's call John, and we will do city equals to ABC. Let's do it. And set handler we will see later. One thing here is that we can't directly, since it's JSON, since this is object, we can't directly render it in UI. Otherwise, it will throw error. Let's just see what will happen. If I go here, see, it will say objects are not valid as a React child. So what I have to do is that go here and instead of object, I will just do, I can just you paste string here. Oh, not like this. Well, now if I go here, it's working. So this is string. JSON.string if I converts objects to string, and since it's string, we can show it here. We can't show objects directly here. Now, suppose on click of this button, we want to update our object. So suppose on click of button, we want update from John to Jack. So I will do set well, and I will do name as Jack. Now what will happen is that this is the wrong way to do first thing. Now if I go here and refresh it, if I do like this, then what will happen on click of this button? My city is lost. I have name, but city got lost. So what I'm missing is that when I'm setting this, in my opinion, I am updating this object. But what I'm actually doing is I'm replacing that object with our new object. So what we can do here is that we can restructure maybe. Uh, well, so what it will do? Let's see. I think it will not work. It's not working because first before that I will just destructure well, and now what I did wrong last time is that I put this thing here in, so in this new object name is Jack, and then when this came, then it converted name to John and city to ABC. So basically our we got our old value. So what I will do here is that I will restructure old value. These three operators are called spread operators. Three dots together, we call it as spread operator, and it just gives our JSON object old, this one, and not old, whatever will be the current value of well, it will give us, and here I will paste name. So what its equivalent is that it's like saying like name is John and city is ABC. Then we are updating name as Jack. Now if I save, I will go here, refresh. So name is John and city is ABC. Now if I click on update, then it became Jack. So that's how we do here. We do with objects. Now suppose there is some complex structure like suppose hmm, so suppose it's not city, suppose it's address, and inside address we have one nested object, and this is like city, and then city is ABC. Now we want to update address and name both, and apart from city, let's keep age as we will keep maybe 30. So first thing what we will do, we will restructure our val to get all current values. Then in that object, I will update name as Jack. Then I have to update address. So um, I will do address dot city or address city, and then in city I will update to x by j from abc to x by z. Now if I go here, name is John, city is abc, age is 30. Now name is Jack, city is xyz, and age is 30. So that's how it's done here. And same thing with arrays. Suppose in place of this, I have one simple array name as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Or suppose let's keep it till 3 only. Now in this array, what I want is that I want to add one more element. So I can't just say like set well or 4, or I can't say like set well 4, because what this will do, it will replace this array. uh, if I go here, it's 1 2 3, it will just replace this array. Similar to object, what I have to do, I have to just destructure my existing variable and then do like this. Now it will have 1 2 3 and then 1 2 3 4. Now one more thing here is that right in this example and last example I did like this, but it can also be done like this. I can just get my val and then like this. So what it will do is that it will suppose I want something like this. I want to add 4, I want to add 5, I want to add 6. Better is to do it one time, but suppose I want to do like, I want to get latest value each time. Because if I don't do like this, then okay, I will show what will happen. But for now, it will work because we are getting latest value of val. If I don't do like this, then what will happen is that if I just do like this, if I don't use functional form of set state, then if I go here, refresh it, then it will set only, I guess 6. Yeah, because it will set 4, then 5, then 6. It will try to do, but these operations will be just, what I say, this operation will get best, and uh, only this one will be final, where we have val as 1 2 3, and this will be added. This operation will also happen, but when this will happen, then what will happen, we will get something like this: 1 2 3 and 4. Now since val is not updated, this val whatever we have here is not updated, that's why here we will get 1 2 3 and 5. And here what will happen is that 1 2 3 and 6. That's why we are getting 6 there. So to avoid this issue, if we are doing multiple state operations, then we can use functional form. If we are not doing multiple operation, then only direct update can be done. Mostly direct update is done. These are some use case scenarios where we want to do something like this. And after this, so this one, how parent child render works with use state. Okay, so let's see how it works, like how uh, rendering happens between parent and child. But before that, let's make it simple. Instead of array, I will do 3. Here, I will do val plus 1, and I will do this. AI stringify is not required. So till now, about use state, we saw that use state is a hook from React, and this hook returns two things: variable and a function which we call setter function, and that setter function updates our variable. And we also saw functional form of that setter variable, and also we saw like how batching works. Now. What this use state actually does is that when we call this setter function, then it re-renders the page. It re-renders this component. So I will just put here one log. I will call it page, not page. I will call component comp parent rendered. Now if I go here, refresh it. So initially when page loaded, this component rendered, this parent component or in component with useState component got rendered. Now if I click again, then again this component got rendered. That's how we are getting this uh, updated value here. So function of useState is that it updates the value and also renders the page. Now, suppose we have one child component of this this component with use state function. Suppose we have something like child comp.jsx. So basically, when I say child component means our app.js is calling this component with use state, and in this component with use state, at the end I will call child. That's why I called it as child comp. Now, in this child comp also, I will declare one state variable. Let's call data. Set data equals to use state. It will be automatically imported. And here I will call it 55. Now, this part, this return and handle click, I will copy from here. Okay, I will just copy one by one this click handler. In this click handler here, I will update data, and here I will use data, and also I will use copy this return. I think I should have just typed it. Will give error. No, it's not giving, but hmm, it's saying val is not defined. I will make it data. So now if I go and see here, we have this parent component, and then we have this child component, which is called inside this parent component. Now, in this child also, I will put one log, and I will say child rendered. Now, initially, when first time page got loaded, both component got rendered. Now, if I update state in parent, then we will see that both parent and child are getting rendered till here. Now, if I update state in parent, then both parent and child are got getting rendered. Now, I will clear it. Now, if I update only child state, that only child is getting rendered. It's not affecting parent. So this is what I wanted to show is that if parent state get updated, then both parent and child component will be rendered again. And if child's state get updated, then only child will update it. Parent will not update. Uh, I mean, if child's state get updated, then only child will render again. Parent will not be re-rendered. So I think we covered what use state is, how why it needed, and what next. Um, why we use state, because it provides manage to access and update state variable. And when there is any state update state is updated, and component is rendered again, and its children are also rendered again. This is what we discussed just now. Now, two rules to use state hook. And right now we will just see why, like what are rules. I will comment out this child component. Right now we will see uh, what are rules. In later part of video, when we will create our own use state hook, then we will see why these rules were created in the first place. So first rule is that use state hook can be used inside only inside React component. We can't do like this. This will not work. It will say that React hook cannot be used at top level. React hook must be used inside React component. Okay. First thing. Now, second thing is that we can declare we can't declare use state variables inside some condition. Like we can't do like this. If 3 is greater than 5, suppose some condition is there, and we can't do like this. This will also get give us error. This would not work. And one more thing is that I guess I'm not sure what will happen if I declare it here. It will work. It will not cause any. So yeah, can do here. So main thing is that component must be inside React not component. State variable must be declared inside React component between this and before return, and it must not declared outside of React component, and it must not be declared inside any condition like this. Now, why these two rules and how use state works internally, we will see in next part of video.